I'm calling this meeting to order. Bloomington Rotary Club's celebration of service for July 6th, 2021. I am your immediate past president, Ashley Wesley. Welcome. We're so glad that you're here today. Natalie, will you please show the flag for 15 seconds of respectful silence? We ask that you remain on mute and take this time to personally reflect. Did anyone else see the flag?
There was no flag.
Oh, Harper.
So you're showing your desktop.
I shared the flag. I don't know what's happening. I apologize.
Okay. Thank you. We took a moment to reflect and we'll move on.
And we love the picture of your grandchild.
Thank you.
I apologize. I was not prepared.
I'm so sorry, Ashley. I thought the drill was that the outgoing president does the meeting up until I get to talk, which is at the end, and then I close the meeting.
I got you. Just one moment. Okay. Do we have any guests today that I have missed? I didn't receive word of any guests.
Yes, I have guests.
Go ahead, Cindy.
Hi, my brothers are visiting for the holiday and they are joining us today. It is Greg Neidhart. He is from Winona, Minnesota, and Mike Neidhart from Tallahassee, Florida.
Wow.
Welcome.
Welcome, Winona.
Welcome.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
I know Winona.
Okay, I don't see any other guests. Any takers?
Pardon me.
Would you like coffee?
Okay, thank you for being here. And thanks to our producers, Natalie Blaze, Michael Shermis, and Aaron Davis for making this run smoothly. And our roundabout reporter for this week is Bill Perkins. We have one birthday, Byron Bangert, on July 7th, which is tomorrow. Happy birthday. And two membership anniversaries, Mike Wade, 4 years, and John Diltz, 23 years. Thank you for being a part of the Rotary family. We have two quick announcements. The Communications Committee is meeting directly after today's meeting on Zoom. It's at 1:30, so it's not quite directly, unless we have lots of questions. But at 1:30, we'll meet the Communications Committee. Our Rotary Changeover Celebration social event is happening this Thursday, July 8th from 5 to 7 at Switchyard Pavilion. Use the entrance on South Rogers Street. This is a family-friendly event, complete with refreshments and fellowship with your fellow Rotarians. If you've not yet responded, you can still show up. Please plan to join us to celebrate changing over to a new Rotary year. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. One last happy dollars in my term, and I see Ron Barnes' hand.
I want to give $20 to Teacher Warehouse and apologize for giving you the wrong date last week on the supply drive. It is August 7th, and Sarah tells me she's going to use Sign Up Genius. We're going to need Rotarians to help man the in front of Staples, and we have Kroger South, and we have Kroger Jackson Creek. We're still working, and hopefully we'll have Walmart, but this is an exciting time for the Teachers Warehouse, and it's a time for all Rotarians to stand up and support our joint venture. So thank you.
Ron, do we have to stand up?
You can sit down in a chair. In fact, I'll bring a chair for you.
I've got a chair. Okay, thank you.
Good question. Any other happy dollars to share? Bill Perkins.
We're celebrating a family this week. By Friday, all of the family will be gathered from around the country. My immediate family and significant others and grandkids and great grandkids and so on. Should be 16 of us by Friday. So had a great time so far. I had a chance to spend quite a bit of time with my 2 great grandchildren yesterday.
Wow.
$20.
Congratulations.
All right.
Jim Bright.
Thank you, President Ashley. $20 to Teachers Warehouse in recognition of 2 outstanding Rotarians, Bryce Bowe and Trent Deckard, who were recognized for their outstanding teaching by the IU Kelly School of Business. Congratulations, Bryce and Trent.
How do you find these things out?
Have a happy dollar.
Sandy.
I have 5 happy dollars. I just want to share some excellent news about a client we've been helping for a number of months now. She's been homeless for 8 months, and we've been working with her and connecting within the community, and she just landed a great job for $38,000 a year.
Wow.
So we're just totally excited for her.
Great.
That is
Congratulations.
Alon.
Okay, I'm going to jump in here as well. So I was reminded this past weekend of how incredibly powerful volunteering is. And it came completely unexpectedly. My wife and I were on our bicycles riding through campus. And we saw this project going on the street of 7th and Jordan. And we spent the next 2 hours riding our bikes and came back and literally just, put on our brakes and stopped and looked at this absolutely spectacular project. It was a Black Lives Matter mural on the street. I urge you all to go and have a look at it. It's so beautiful. And we got involved and we jumped off our bikes and we painted for 2 hours and got to know everybody there. And it was just a reminder of how powerful it is to get involved in volunteer projects because of how much your sense of personal ownership over it becomes. So I went back the following day and I was lucky enough to be able to interview the organizer of the event and was once again just completely bowled over by the beauty of this mural on the ground and how inclusive and diverse it was. So I'm going to put in $50 for our diversity committee and look forward to lots of volunteering this coming year.
Wow, what a nice idea. It's right on the street?
Yeah, it's on the street. It's on the corner of Jordan and 7th, next to the theater building. It's the African American Institute.
That's right in the Neil Marshall.
Neil Marshall, right.
Great, thank you.
Okay, Jim, do you have another or is your hand still raised? I can lower your hand.
Okay, thank you.
Any other happy dollars to share? No? Okay. Thank you for continuously giving to the Teachers Warehouse and sharing your celebrations. As I was preparing for today's remarks, I was just overwhelmed with gratitude for all the things that you share with all of us as a family. And I just couldn't appreciate it more. And I was moved to tears multiple times thinking about all of the things that we've celebrated over the past year. And I'm going to share those with you. So let me get my screen ready for you because it's time for my final remarks. Just one moment. Should be starting any moment now. You can see my notes. There we go. Can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. All right. We have had a very active year, which I'm proud to report on today. I know it doesn't seem like the same kind of action we've been used to when we can meet in person. Everything's been done virtually, but there is a lot to celebrate. Zoom, Zoom, Zoom. We've spent all of our time in these little boxes, and I wanted to share a photo of a past president's gathering for my beginning of my term. And it was the first virtual one that we've had. We have another one with Sally just a few weeks ago, and hopefully next year it'll be in person again. The Rotary International Convention was also virtual. And I wanted to celebrate that we've added 10 new members, all virtually inducted in 2020, 2021. We instituted a family membership and continue to develop innovative ways to serve members and offer opportunities that will attract new members. We had a social in August, which for most of us was the first public gathering that we attended since March of 2020. I know it was for me. We've had guests from many countries and states that would not have been able to join us if not for the benefit of this virtual world. We hosted Rotary Global Scholars and guests from a list that is just too long for me to detail here. We volunteered our time each month with a volunteer opportunity presented at the following places: Community Kitchen, Helping Hands, Salvation Army Bell Ringing, Adopted Road Cleanup, Teachers Warehouse, and the United Way Literacy Backpack Assembly, and many other individual opportunities that we engaged in over the year. I wanted to share that we've contributed $16,515 to the Rotary Foundation, which is a huge accomplishment. And I'm so proud of our group for offering that much to the foundation for all the good work that they do. We also had a business outlook panel in collaboration with the Greater Bloomington Chamber of Commerce and economic experts, also on Zoom. It was a lot of fun. And RILA had the first virtual event online, and hopefully next year it will not be online again, but it was a success. Teachers Warehouse received $1,429.78 through our Happy Dollars. If anyone has forgotten to give the Happy Dollars that you pledged throughout the year, you can go into the chat and donate now, or notify Natalie that you'd like to be billed for a certain amount. Many volunteer hours were logged by Rotarians each and every week, and just thank you for making this possible. You've heard from me all of the notes of celebration and gratitude that come from the community for Teachers Warehouse, and we are so lucky to have it in our community. Our district grant was the literacy backpacks for youth in the community through the United Way. We had a lot of fun volunteering and stuffing those backpacks and writing handwritten notes encouraging the magic of reading. And I saw firsthand at the Boys and Girls Club the recipients of those backpacks and the joy that they took in getting the books and the notes and all of the supplies that they need to have the things that they need at home to be able to pursue literacy. We grieved the losses of Rotarians and family members this year. We are remembering the legacies of past presidents Keith Klein and Randy Bridges, and many others in the community and in our families. I'd urge you to take a moment to reflect on the lives of these great Rotarians and the things that they offered to our clubs and to us in friendship. We've also had celebrations of major milestones that I wanted to highlight here today. Many of you received accolades through 2020 and 2021 that I started to try to get all on one slide, and there were just too many, which is a huge, huge accomplishment. There's so much recognition, so many talented individuals in this club. I put in a picture of Sarah Laughlin receiving the Be More Phenomenal Award, because that really just sums up all of the contributions that Rotarians make. We had 5 Rotarians that received Paul Harris Fellows this year. We welcomed babies, so many babies. One of particular note, past President Lawrence Snyder and his wife Morgan welcomed Lawson James, and many of you celebrated the arrival of grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and it has been a joy to see all of that. And so many publications and voices heard in the community. Many of you contributed to the Herald Times and to other news outlets. You published books, you published articles, and you received accolades in your careers. I wanted to mention Charlotte's biography that she published in 2020, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. We also celebrated weddings and retirements and graduations and new houses and relocations and the first hugs of togetherness after many months being separated. Those were some of my favorite happy dollars shared this year. You sharing, getting back together with your families and giving them that hug after so many months spent apart. If you need an injection of joy in your life, please go back and watch the YouTube recordings of our meetings and fast forward to the happy dollars, and you won't be disappointed. We shared holiday wishes with each other from afar and really capitalized on building goodwill and better friendships. It was such a special moment to receive those greetings from you, the photos and the video messages to celebrate the holidays. We threw a virtual Rotary toast, honoring Bob Hamill and gaining a fresh appreciation for the wealth of talent we have in our Bloomington community and the great heart that is concentrated here. The Hoosier Hills Food Bank received $25,096 of crucial support from the effort and is truly something to celebrate. We recognized many new Paul Harris Fellows in our club and even got to step onto IU Memorial Stadium to participate in a drone flyover in September with 70 Paul Harris Fellows from all of the Bloomington Rotary clubs. We witnessed momentous changes in our local and national political and economic environment, and we took a stand on our commitment to represent our community and the world in the dialogues, actions, and membership of our club. We witnessed the nomination of the first female Rotary International president, Jennifer Jones, and we established a diversity fund and chartered a new diversity, equity, and inclusion committee to better serve our members. We enjoyed 2 virtual Rotary International conferences, district conference, and many virtual trainings. We hosted a business outlook panel, which I mentioned, and we Riley came together online. The Rotary train doesn't stop. That is something that I really appreciated this year. Being virtual didn't stop any of the great things that we were moving forward to, and it evolved very quickly. Most clubs in the district adopted Zoom meetings with fun and powerful speakers and continued the progress that we were making in person. In our own club, we heard from speakers on topics covering education, the arts, disability rights, the environment, politics, athletics, media, history, COVID, public health initiatives, sustainability, business, race, equity, philanthropy, and the list goes on and on. We also learned from our fellow Rotarians about their own historical journeys, nonprofit work, peace initiatives, scholarship achievements, and so much more. I've learned something new every week, and that is no exaggeration. Here's some of our speakers from 2021 as well. While we haven't shared a meal together in 16 months, we've shared discussion in our breakout rooms, some affording the chance to get to know each other more than we might have otherwise. Woo! I gave away some of my secrets. Ah! That's okay, everybody knew what was coming. I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for your commitment to our community through membership in the club. We're only able to achieve continued improvement and contributions by working together. This year was no exception. I would now like to recognize a few individuals with special awards. I was faced with a very difficult decision this year in presenting the following award, the Service Above Self. I'm sure many past presidents can relate to this struggle. I was brought back many times to the conversations that this individual was willing to participate in and take the next step, even when they did not have all the answers. They proceeded with grace and a willingness to learn in order to move us forward. Maybe. Dave Meyer, thank you for taking on service as our secretary, as well as becoming membership chair in a year of so many unknowns. We were able to engage with ideas and formulate new paths forward due to your persistence in trying new things and willingness to change course when necessary. You always shared your perspectives, but were a model of putting your individual perspective to the side in order to heed the larger group and move us in a better direction as a team. Thank you.
Well, I'm stunned. I've received a plaque from my dear wife, Cynthia. Thank you so much, President Ashley. I don't know really what I've done to deserve this, but it's a really pleasant surprise to be honored by colleagues. It's been a tumultuous year, and it is a joy that we've been able to bring in new Rotarians over the past year, even on Zoom. We have something to offer folks. So it's not about the membership committee, it's really about what the club provides to the community and how attractive that is. Thank you again.
Thank you, Dave. The next award is called the Keyway Award and was created especially for this very dear Rotarian. The Rotary Wheel, virtually unchanged since 1924, was redesigned many times in the early years of the organization. A Rotary Club of Chicago emblem that featured a wagon wheel influenced early logos. When the Rotary logo was being redesigned in the 1920s, a group of engineers advised that the gear wheel was mechanically unsound and would not work without a keyway in the center to attach it to a power shaft. So in 1923, the keyway was added to signify the wheel was a worker and not an idler. The keyway in the center of the hub is of great significance because it represents the individual Rotarian member who is the key factor in every club. Quality members are the keys needed for the hub to engage with the shaft in turn, putting the energy into motion and creating the power for the gears to do their work. Michael Shermis has received many recognitions because he represents just this concept. I'm delighted to offer another this year. Michael, I'm presenting you with the Keyway Award for your unflappable enthusiasm and support, giving our club, especially over this past year, the power for the gears to be able to do their work. Thank you for helping to make our programs possible each and every week, and for being an invaluable source of ideas and perspectives that I and many others relied on. Thank you.
And I am the Rotary Courier. Michael,
Thank you.
this and this.
Well, thanks everybody. Very unexpected. Kind of blew me away there. It's like, who's at my door doing what here? Thank you. It's always been really good to support all of the presidents in whatever way I can, and that I can help with the technologies is an honor to be able to help Rotary. So thank you.
Thank you. Next, I'm presenting the Find the Helpers Award to Raj Hadawi. Raj championed a diversity fund for our club from states away and continues to push us forward to strive to be better, to be more representative of not just our community here in Bloomington, but our greater global community. Thank you for joining us, for giving us your voice and being so involved with our betterment. You've made all of us take a step back and really think about becoming better about our representation, and have done it with grace, care, and a spirit of joy. Thank you for expanding us. We are a better club because of you, Raj. You're on mute, Raj.
Thank you so very much. I didn't expect that. I just simply was raised to see what is right and what is not so right. And when I see the right thing, I indulge in it, literally. The word indulge applicable to me. When I was in a practice, I saw the uninsured and the poor suffering through gaining health care. I led a group of good citizens to establish the volunteer in medicine. And as you kind enough to bring Zoom, which brought me along to the club, and I am very fond of you all as friends and as colleagues. I really appreciate seeing us moving in the direction of inclusions. Our mighty God created all of us are equal. It is in our constitution, but for a reason or another, we don't move forward in that direction. With the Rotary Club in Bloomington helping out to move our flag forward, I am so delighted to be part of it. And to recognize me, that is more than I ever thought. Thank you so very much. And the best for you, Ashley, in being ex-president.
Thank you, Raj. Each of these next Rotarians I'm going to mention played a crucial weekly role in making our club successful over this isolating and stretching year. And that is why I have termed these awards the fabric of Rotary Awards. Each of you is a thread that made a beautiful tapestry of opened opportunities, which was the greatest theme possible for this year. I hope that each and every one of you knows that you share in this honor. Without your involvement, we would not be the group of diverse perspectives and personalities that make up this special whole. I do want to especially recognize a few individuals that made the work of leading this club more efficient and fitting of the four-way test and contributed to the weekly experience in profound ways. Sally Gaskell and Aaron Davis for weekly producing. And Aaron, thank you for continuing to update our social media with weekly highlights of our upcoming programs. Kyla Cox-Deckard for serving as the consummate treasurer and always diving into issues with care and true observance of what would be beneficial to all concerned. Alon Barker for leading us through our technology and continuing to seek ways to help others and make the experience more accessible and enjoyable. Thank you. Owen Johnson for sharing interesting news and updates for our social media and passing along important information from the news and Rotary-related points of interest. We would not have the reports that we had without you. Mike Baker for being our Paul Harris Fellow Points Guru and for always being an email away to help. Thank you for leading the Bloomington Rotary Foundation and for sharing your expertise. Sarah Laughlin for sharing your wealth of knowledge and experience and always being willing to help. Special thanks for stepping up for our district grant process and basically knowing the answer to any question I had as a novice along the way about anything. Thank you, Sarah. Vaughn Welch for taking on leadership of our district grants, having never met in person to discuss, was a feat. Trent Deckard for leading us fearlessly through membership in a virtual world and continuing to share your enthusiasm for Rotary and inviting many along the way to join you. Martha Wales for noticing every small little life detail and taking the time to write a handwritten note. It means more than you will ever know. Glinda Murray for keeping our history, always at the ready with our past to help us reflect and remember, and for being an outstanding Rotary courier. Jim Bright for the constant encouragement and unmatched knowledge of visitors, past and present Rotarians, and all things local, district, and international, the abundance of guest invitations, and the invaluable supply of suggestions of newsworthy items to mention. Our weekly gatherings would not have had the depth and sense of recognition and celebration I believe we were able to achieve without your input. Thank you. Judy Schroeder, your leadership of the roundabout is legendary, and those who were not able to join us simply had to read the reports from your intrepid team each week to feel as though they were with us. Thank you for your leadership documenting our programs, without which we would not have the record to reflect and grow from week after week. Thank you. And our board of directors. Your commitment to research and leaning in for difficult and stretching changes was humbling and inspiring every single time we met together. We were able to dialogue, disagree, find commonalities, and sand off the rough edges, always coming away with equitable solutions to issues month after month. Your input and dedication has brought us forward into a new frontier. I'm looking forward to the continued creativity and care you will bring to our club to push us to be even better as time moves forward. I could present each and every one of you with a way that you've improved and elevated this club, but I want to leave Sally with the time she deserves to present her vision. I've observed so many kindnesses and unbounded friendship over this year. It's been my absolute joy to serve you. Every note, phone call, word of encouragement, happy dollar shared, time spent getting to know you has been a pleasure, and I'm deeply grateful to all of you for allowing me this privilege. Thank you.
Ashley Wesley, what a hard act to follow. Honestly, you have done such a wonderful job over the last year, challenging year. Cool, calm, and collected. I definitely have big shoes to fill. And you're always so generous with your time and expertise. And I've really appreciated that over the last year as well. As people are saying in the chat, you are truly a rock star. Also, I just learned that you love Cher. So there's that. And we look forward to an impersonation perhaps on Thursday at Switchard.
Maybe.
So thank you all. I don't have any gorgeous graphics like Ashley has presented, but I do have some thoughts that I've been gathering for the last few months as I was looking forward to this day. So you know me as Sally, and in fact, I have been called that from my birth, but my given name is Sarah Jane. You probably know me as somebody who's passionate about a couple of things, baseball and the arts, and I am. I've spent my career working with and for nonprofit arts organizations and supporting artists. I've been a grant maker in the arts and an advocate. My Rotary classification, seconded by none, is called Arts and Cultural Policy. But I'm surprised to be here. While I have never shied away from leadership opportunities throughout my career, I have rarely ventured outside the world of the arts, except for Rotary. I learned last week from Glenda Murray that I'm the 11th woman president of our club. What an honor to join all of you who came before me, women and men. I believe that I am the first ever arts leader to be a president of Bloomington Rotary. And this is happening at the same time as my old pal Don Steffi takes the reins in Indianapolis as president of the Rotary Club of Indianapolis, the big downtown club there. Don is currently executive director of the Indianapolis Ballet and a former dancer himself. He's the first arts executive to lead that club. So you'll also, of course, get the president-elect of our club, Alam Barker, an artist and arts leader. So we'll be getting two of us in a row here in Bloomington. I have huge respect for past presidents who have held down full-time jobs while in office. Now, I am mostly retired from IU and will be fully retired by the end of this calendar year. But like so many of you, retirement has not meant inactivity. I've been a consultant to our state arts agency, the Indiana Arts Commission, over the last year and a half. I'm currently the board president for Voces Novae, which is my beloved choir. I'm vice president of the board of Cardinal Stage, our city's largest nonprofit arts organization. Most recently, I've started working with a volunteer group in my hometown of Weston, Missouri, 500 miles away. They are the Black Ancestors Awareness Campaign of Weston, and they recently put on a spectacular Juneteenth celebration that I was fortunate to attend there. I'm going to help that group gain its nonprofit incorporation. Now, I did not grow up in a Rotary family in my hometown of Weston, Missouri, population 1,200. Though my parents were both very active in the community, my dad was not in Rotary because he was a farmer and Rotary met at noon. And of course, my mom was not eligible for most of her life. But I learned recently that my maternal great-grandfather, Leander Messick, was a Rotarian some 100 years ago in the small town of Hill City, Kansas, where he was first a school teacher, then the school superintendent. And then when they kicked him out because he was too progressive, according to family lore, he started a bank. So he was ultimately a banker. My Uncle Bob, who is in his 90s, is a Rotarian also in a small town in Western Kansas, Oberlin, Kansas. My first experience with Rotary was in high school in Weston, when one of my great honors was to win the local Rotary Club's award as the best high school student in history and in English. An important part of my life story that may not be as evident as baseball and the arts is that I believe in social justice, and throughout my professional life have focused on ways to use the arts to address social justice issues. Social justice, just for a brief definition, generally refers to human rights centered around improving the lives of groups historically marginalized based on race, ethnicity, nationality, gender, sexual orientation, age, religion, and disability. I have fought hard over the years to create access to the arts for children and others who did not previously have it. So I've always been proud to be a Rotarian, in part because of what Rotary does throughout the world. The dues that we all pay each quarter go to support that work, as of course does the additional contributions that we make to the Rotary Foundation as individuals. This year's new Rotary International President is Shekhar Mehta from India, and I hope you will all get the chance to read about him and his vision in the most recent Rotary magazine that we should all be receiving. President Shekhar's theme for this year is Serve to Change Lives. And of course, you'll see my banner in the background. Oh, and for those of you who get to attend on Thursday, there'll be a pin, Serve to Change Lives. Rotary International, of course, does this by concentrating our work in 7 areas of focus. And I want to briefly just remind everybody of what those 7 areas are now. First is fighting disease, and perhaps our best known cause is ending polio. Rotary has been working to eradicate polio for more than 35 years. Today, it remains endemic in only 2 countries, Afghanistan and Pakistan. And it's, of course, crucial to continue to work to keep all the other countries polio-free. The other 6 areas of focus are promoting peace, providing clean water, supporting education, saving mothers and children, growing local economies, and protecting the environment. Last month, our speaker, Kelly Askew, Phil's daughter from the Kelly School, brilliantly demonstrated how Rotary's goals are embedded in the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. All of those things make me proud to be a Rotarian. I'm looking forward this year to working with Lauren Snyder, who's chair of our international committee, to find ways for our club to support one or more of these global areas of focus. And I'm sure that our community service committee will also address ways to make a difference here in our own community of Bloomington. So I first joined Rotary before I came to Bloomington in the mid-1990s in Rochester, New York. We had a large club with over 400 members and a full-time staff of 8. Reflect on that, Natalie, a full-time staff of 8. For me, Rotary was then all about meeting new people. And when I came to Bloomington, that's why I joined. So like many of you, I know people from Rotary who I otherwise would not know. And I really value your friendships. I value that many Rotarians are different from me. I really value the good work that we do in the community and, of course, the international impact as well. What keeps me coming back, besides the people and the good works, as Ashley mentioned, are the weekly programs. I learn something every week from our speakers. I look forward to our programs every week. I got to serve as the program committee chair, beginning with Glenda Murray back in the day, and then for 5 other different presidents. And I'm so grateful to Michael Shermis and to our new co-chair for programs, Connie Shekhar, for heading up that important committee. Like many of us in this club, I have always shied away from being involved in the membership committee, thinking that's just not my thing. But here's my first call to action for the year ahead. If we want to continue to have a thriving club that can make a difference in our community, then membership recruitment has to be something that we all think about. I'm grateful to Dave Meyer for chairing the committee and to all the committee members. And please remember that we are all adjunct members of membership. Because let's face it, looking around, the demographics are against us. We all need to look for younger, more diverse members. We need more women. Our club is 2/3 men. We need more people of color. RI President Shekhar has a simple idea. Each one bring one. How exciting would it be if each of us brought in one new member over the next 12 months? I'm so grateful to Raj Hadawi for initiating our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Fund. I'm so happy also that Yolanda Trevino, the only Latina president our club has ever had, for chairing our new DEIB committee. DEIB, that is Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging. And we meet on Monday for the first time. So in her presentation, in her closing remarks, Ashley shared the beginning text of the DEI statement that Rotary International recently revised. I hope that you'll all go to Rotary.com and read it for yourself. It's pretty powerful. And I agree with every sentiment. So my second call to action is let's all embrace the principles of DEI over the coming year and incorporate DEI in our work as Rotarians. For example, I'd like to challenge the members of the program committee to focus on diversity and to bring in more speakers of color this year, and to focus on topics that enlarge our understanding of issues facing Black, Indigenous, Asian, and Latino peoples. I'm excited that our district grant funded project for this coming year will be the Lotus International Bazaar, which is a celebration of different cultures from around the world that will reach thousands of local school children here in Monroe County. I hope you'll be able to volunteer for the event. It will take place April 1st and 2nd next year at Fairview Elementary School. Much more on that later. Our club's biggest fundraiser this year is the annual toast. Raising money is important because, of course, we use the proceeds to support projects that meet our goals in the community. And how cool is it that our own Charlotte Sitlow will be this year's recipient, the first Rotarian ever to win the award in 7 years. So if you haven't marked your calendar yet, the in-person event at Ivy Tech will honor Charlotte and her lifetime of good works. It's Friday, November 5th. And finally, my third call to action as we emerge from the pandemic. I challenge you to re-engage with Rotary. Think about ways that you can contribute to our mission over the next 12 months. I truly hope that everyone will commit to be active on a committee. If you haven't yet signed up, there is still time. Bill Perkins, you're the newsletter reporter this week. I'll ask for you to please place a link to the committee sign up in the roundabout. Also, everyone will be receiving a new survey immediately after this meeting on returning to in-person meetings. Please fill it out. If all goes well and all of my fingers and toes are crossed, along with everybody else on the board of directors, it looks as though we'll be able to return to in-person meetings at the beautifully refurbished Frangipani room in the IMU on the second Tuesday of August. That's August the 10th. So pencil that in. We'll be abiding by CDC and IU guidelines throughout the year. The pandemic is not over. We want to keep you safe above all. But we will also continue to always offer our meetings on Zoom. We don't want to lose you, Raj, and we want to make it easier to attend Rotary meetings for everybody. So thanks to our new fellowship, thanks to our new technology committee for heading that up. More fellowship opportunities are going to be coming. We will be reintroducing the Lunch Buddies program, where every quarter you will be randomly assigned to have lunch with another Rotarian whom you may or may not know very well. You can meet in person or online. And a new project just confirmed this morning that I'm really excited to announce. We are going to be launching the Bloomington Rotary Book Club. This will be a quarterly discussion of a book. Everybody who participates, all members are welcome, of course. Everybody who participates will have the opportunity to submit an idea for a book or more. Thank you so much to Lawrence Snyder for the idea and for getting us started. And of course, details to come. I'm looking forward to announcing other fun things as the year progresses, things that help us both toward our mission of serving to change lives and that re-engage us in the work of the club. So that's it from me. 3 simple calls to action. First, grow and diversify the membership. Each one bring one. Second, join me and so many others in the club to embrace diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging in all of our work and fellowship. Third, re-engage, join a committee, do good work. I hope in closing that I will lead with dignity, with kindness and respect. I am looking forward to getting to know all of you better and to the year ahead. Please don't ever hesitate to contact me with ideas, questions, and concerns. I'll do my best. So I am very happy to now turn things over to Alan Barker, who will introduce next week's program.
Thank you very much, Sally, and congratulations on assuming this extremely important position and such a wonderful person to take it on. Thank you so much for your wonderful words. To everybody, we are looking forward to another Zoom meeting next week, and we welcome John Wertheim, who's the executive editor of Sports Illustrated and a correspondent for CBS 60 Minutes. John will be talking about growing up in Bloomington and making his career as a journalist. So we look forward to seeing you all then. And that's for next week.
Thanks, Alan. I'd like to offer a thought for the day. This one's thanks to Charlotte Zitlow. Quote, "The difficult is what takes a little time. The impossible is what takes a little longer." That's by Fritz Nansen, a Norwegian explorer and winner of the Nobel Peace Prize in 1922. So with that, Natalie, could you please share the 4-way test graphic? So let's close the meeting by reciting the 4-way test +1 together. Of the things we think, say, and do.
First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build better friendships? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
And
fifth, is it fun?
Right.
Ring-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding.
Oh, look, I have something to share. I got my very own cowbell with my name on it.
King girl, now that you don't need it anymore. I love it.
That closes us off.
Everybody, I'm going to stick around and read the chat. This is so fun. Book club, yay! Yay!